Today we're going to dive in a very funny video. All 16 Polish region stereotypes explained. I want to know from you in the comment section whether these stereotypes are accurate. I mean, I'm sure this will cause, I don't know, most of the times this type of videos can cause some tensions. Hope nobody will get offended. I don't know much about Poland, that's why I have this channel, so I can learn more. So please watch it without getting too much offended. And let me know in the comment section your thoughts afterwards. Yeah, let's start with the first one, that is Lower Silesian.
Lower Silesian is filled with beautiful hills, mountains, castles, and forests. It's rural but rich because of its natural resources, and it's close to Germany. I also think the region is the perfect setup for dwarf lore. The people are stereotyped as dwarves who are super rich because of their copper and silver mines, and the rest are locals or Ukrainians who wish.
Is this the region that, because I was just reading a book a couple of days ago about Frederick the Great, the former king of Prussia. And I read when he conquered Silesia that it was a region that was very rich because of all the different metals and the agriculture and other stuff as well. So I wonder, was this the region that he annexed at the time?
They were German and drive really badly. The region is culturally mixed from all other parts of Poland, therefore it's mostly liberal, so there's no clear regional culture. The voivodeship is great but expensive, and there are floods every now and then. The capital city, Wrocław, has this skyscraper.
Oh,
you may
that's
ask
Wrocław.
yourself, what about it? Well, look at it from this angle, or maybe it's shadow. Hard to unsee it now, right?
What the fuck? Come on! Come on! You ruined this city for me right now. You ruined it. What the hell?
Wrocław is filled with easygoing and friendly people who sometimes spend long periods of time in traffic. One thing I like about this city is the architecture. Having been under the rule of Poland, Bohemia, Austria, Prussia, and Germany, Wrocław has many cool buildings and different styles of architecture.
Kuyavian-Pomeranian.
Kuyavian-Pomeranian voivodeship is a less invested region in the north-central Poland. The name comes from combining the two historical regions of Kuyavia and Pomerania. The voivodeship has two capitals, Bydgoszcz and Torun, and they have a long-standing rivalry. Torun is a small city in the eastern part of the region. People joke that Bydgoszcz residents are jealous of them because Copernicus was born there and because gingerbreads come from this city. Yeah, and they name everything after Copernicus. Torun is also older, has a great Gothic town square, and is rich in history and culture.
Beautiful.
Shut up. We're more industrial. We have the speedway and lots of other things. So we're the true capital of the region. Joking aside though, Bydgoszcz is a fine city.
Lubelskie.
Lublin is a very conservative region. The people are stereotyped as rednecks, and some even joke that they're basically Ukrainians. Why Ukrainians? Well, they share a border with Ukraine, and there is a Ukrainian minority in the region. They love nothing more than eating seburaj, which is a kind of onion bread, and wash that down with some perwa beer. Speaking of alcohol, the region is also the production
That sounds great to me. I will do that too.
place of Lubusz and some quality wine. After drinking all these, the people go to the speedway to watch some races. They also have this town. Try to pronounce it if you can.
Szczecin. No, wait. No. Szczecin. Is that correct? I don't
I'm
know.
not even going to try it. Lublin, the capital city, is filled with students, and they're everywhere. The students party hard at the beginning of each academic year by drinking themselves to an alcoholic coma. Then struggle with their courses for the whole semester, and finally move out of Lublin because there are no job opportunities. In the city, there are lots of bars, and everything is close by, so you can easily walk home while being drunk out of your mind at night. It's also filled with artists, nationalists, and some weird people, but overall they're nice.
Overall, they're nice. Okay.
Lubuskie voivodeship. I have two words for it: forests and wine. Yep, that's pretty much it. The region is relatively poor and often goes unnoticed until something unusual happens there. It has one of the tallest statues of Jesus in the world, and interestingly, there are Wi-Fi antennas on his head. So people get the internet directly from the Jesus himself. Both Zielona Góra and Mazovia serve as capitals, which has led to
So you must have Godspeed internet in there.
A bit of rivalry between them over which one is better. They say people from Mazovia have a snake in their pocket, meaning they're stingy and don't like to spend money. And people from Zielona Góra are also a stereotype as greedy and they love money.
I've just reacted to Zielona Góra a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago it was a very interesting place. Łódź.
Łódź voivodeship gets its name from the city of Łódź, and it used to be one of the biggest industrial centers of Europe. But what happened? Well, these two. The collapse of textile industry and the fall of communism. These led to depopulation and, I don't know, people becoming depressed and drinking like 24/7. Łódź is in the geographical center of Poland, so you're relatively close to all other regions. Why isn't it the capital instead of Warsaw? It's ugly?
That's not true. I also reacted to Łódź. It's a very beautiful city. Come on.
The city of Łódź feels like an enormous construction site with lots of
if you show these places, okay, fine. But what I've seen before, at least the center, it was really nice.
Infrastructure and neglected districts, which is why it's a stereotype as ugly or called the Detroit of Poland. Some Polish people consider the region geographically dull because compared to other Polish regions, there are not many rivers, canals, or lakes, which makes it a bit ironic, considering the name of the region translates to boat. But enough with the ugly stereotypes. The city has some sort of hipster vibe, it's cheap, the culture is vibrant, and there are lots of great events. And the people, they're lovely working class folks who are crazy about Zalewajka. If you're liking the video so far, please subscribe and check out my other stereotypes video.
Oh, I need to check out this one about Italy. This is gonna be amazing. Oh my god, this is gonna be great.
Lesser Poland is one of the warmest regions in the country. They have the beautiful Tatra mountains, and don't you dare say anything bad about their region, because they all carry shepherd axes. They have this city, Krakow. It's rich both culturally and economically. Like, look at this. Beautiful, right? To this day, they still can't believe Warsaw replaced Krakow as the capital. The people are traditional, laid-back, and have an ego as big as the dragon guarding their city. They're also very artsy, stylish, hipster-like, and stingy. So anyways, these were the stereotypes about the people. Generally, they're cool though. If you go there during the summer, you'll barely hear anyone speak Polish because it's filled with tourists. That's a British tourist. He's here for cheap alcohol.
Bro, come on! That's not true though, that's not true, come on. Why is it always stereotype the British tourist with yellow teeth? Come on, what the hell?
Say hello. During the winters, the air quality is something like this, because the city is in a bowl-shaped valley, so polluted air gets trapped inside. They're also famous for these two football clubs. There's a huge rivalry between them and they hate each other, and sometimes it gets ugly.
Yeah, we do need to check out more Polish football. I want to get a culture in Polish football. Mazovia.
Mazovia is the richest and the most developed voivodeship in Poland. Guess why? Warsaw. Its GDP is so high that it pulls up the numbers for the entire voivodeship. But outside Warsaw, the region is poor compared to the national average. I like to compare Mazovia to Illinois. Both have a major economic hub with the most of the population concentrated in the capital city, while the rest of the region is flat and is filled with farms. Warsaw dominates everything: money, politics, statistics, and the city was built from scratch after World War II and rebuilt in a more American-style model. The infrastructure is good, it's industrial, and the people are always in a hurry, talk really fast, and eat a lot of wuzetka. Fact, everyone's there for three things.
What is that?
Money, money, money. People live in their own worlds and feel very detached from the rest of the country and the problems outside the capital. If the government sees a problem in another voivodeship, it's like, that's too bad. But when it happens to Warsaw, so Warsaw is a little hated by everyone, and a bit more.
I think that's pretty normal though, since it's the capital. Of course, it's not fair, but you know, governments usually aren't fair, so yeah. I mean, I hope nobody's gonna kill me for that, but it's more often than not the governments are not fair with the majority of the people.
By Krakow. Even when people talk about something, they often won't even say where it took place, because of course it happened in Warsaw. They're really proud, and let's not forget about Soik, the rural people who move to big cities. Yeah, there are a lot of them. There's a lot to do in Warsaw, but only if you can live with the ridiculous traffic, the loud BMWs and Volkswagen Golfs blasting music at full volume, and people driving like they're on the Autobahn. So if you like money, working hard, and a fast-paced life, this is your place.
Okay, Opole.
Nobody lives in Opolskie voivodeship, besides some Germans. They have one of the biggest German minorities in Poland and are often joked about as being Germans in disguise. The region has some quiet little rundown towns, and as for the capital city Opole, it's a cozy little decent place. The air might be polluted, but at least you won't be rethinking your life choices while stuck in traffic like many other cities. So yeah, instead, you can go for a swim in the lakes or visit Wyspa Bolko, which is a small green island within Opole's city limits. But hey, if you're a student and want to party till the dawn, you'll have to do it at home, because the streets there look like this after 10 p.m. Subcarpathian, alongside Lublin and Lesser Poland, makes up the Bible Belt of the country. This voivodeship was created in the late 90s for administrative reasons, and they're religious and conservative, and they also love the duck. This is the duck I'm talking about. It's the nickname for the chairman of PIS, Jarosław Kaczyński. They share a border with Ukraine, which has some similarities to US-Mexico border, like lots of migrants and some other illegal activities. What else? They make some great mayonnaise, and you can always quit your job, head to Bieszczada mountain.
That's enough for me to travel there.
Drop out of the society and live as a hermit for the rest of your days. As for the capital city, Rzeszów is a mid-sized city with a certain monument that looks like a... well, the region is a perfect mix of Western and Eastern Poland. It has Western prices and Eastern wages. The city is also full of wannabes from other provinces, all with backstories more tragic than Aaron Yeager. Yeah, and they never stop talking about their hard-earned education.
Podlaskie.
Podlaskie is the peak east. It's a stereotype as a wild, uncharted territory with no civilization in sight, inhabited by superstitious people. So you could say that they're old-fashioned, since they're far from the major cities, and a bit under Eastern European influence. But hey, these are just stereotypes. Of course, they don't all live in the Białowieża forest, and they definitely don't ride a European bison to work. They're also seen as mostly religious and poor. Interestingly, these two traits tend to overlap quite often in regions of different countries. They're also a stereotype as being all PIS supporters.
Please let me know which city or region do you come from when you're commenting later on this video, so I can make my own research and get more familiar with the different places in Poland.
But the capital city Białystok is actually quite progressive. So when you look at the voting maps, it almost looks like a donut. But overall, the majority of people are cool.
Pomeranian.
Pomorski is a beautiful voivodeship with a Kuyavian minority. They have their own Polish, Slavic, Germanic sounding language, are conservative, and overall very lovely folks. There's also a place there literally named Hell, with one L. And they used to have a bus line numbered 666. The capital city, Gdańsk, has long been a multicultural city, and it's been shaped by the French, Scottish, Dutch, and German settlers. And also, it's a wet cold, so it'll get to your bones. If you go there, bring your windbreaks, go to the beach, and get some waffles. The people from there have a beef with the city of Gdynia. Yeah, they make fun of it by saying that it smells like herring, and that the best thing about Gdynia is that you can buy a ticket to Gdańsk.
What the hell? That was wild.
Silesian voivodeship is famous for its coal mines. The region is heavily industrial and is filled with factories. The average person there is a coal miner who wishes he was born in Germany, misses the communist era, and makes fun of Sosnowiec. I think the best example is the joke that you should get a passport to go to Sosnowiec, because it's not part of the country. Also, I gotta show you some pictures of Jasna Góra Monastery. It looks awesome. Their capital city, Katowice, is incredibly green, and it's like the Florida of Poland. Crazy things happen there, and you'll meet all sorts of people. They throw in lots of German words while speaking, and when it comes to their dialect, there are three groups. 1. It's a dialect. 2. It should be treated as a proper national language. 3. I don't give a The people there are quite welcoming and outgoing and would like to help you out. If they take you to their Oma's house, they're going to force feed you so many dumplings and other hearty foods that you won't need food for another 2 weeks.
Holy Cross.
Świętokrzyskie voivodeship has a monastery in its mountains that, according to the legend, kept a fragment of the cross on which Christ was crucified. That's why Świętokrzyskie translates to Holy Cross. The region is conservative, they used to have witches there, and also a show about a detective priest called Father Matthew. Young people leave the region as soon as they're done with high school. Maybe because this region isn't the wealthiest, it's filled with old people, it's way too windy, and some towns might remind you of 1950s. But if you want to chill a slow life among the mountains, this region is perfect for you. As for the capital city, Kielce is between these two giants. It's quiet and clean, they hate Radom, and they make some mean mayonnaise and eat way too much of it.
They sound like me.
Warmian-Masurian region, the land of 1,000 lakes. It's a holiday destination for Poles because there are lots of lakes and just nature everywhere. The people there are obsessed with pikefish, and the place is filled with mosquitoes and bugs. You'll get like 48 bites in an hour. Son, this is a pike. It's the king of the water, just like a lion is the king of the jungle. The region has lots of empty land, it's remote and poorer than other regions. And because there isn't much industry, it's treated like an open-air museum. The capital city, Olsztyn, is pretty much the small village of big cities in Poland. And it's been Polish and German for long periods of time. There's no shortage of towns with commie blocks in this region, also beautiful girls. And they get pissed when people can't tell which region is Warmia and which is Missouri.
Greater Poland.
Greater Poland voivodeship literally means older Poland. It's where Polish history began. Yeah, the first capital of Poland, Gniezno, was located there. You wanna know which voivodeship is the best? Well, that's quite self-explanatory. That just means it was part of the country earlier. On November 11th, they all celebrate the Independence Day and St. Martin's Day by eating their special croissants and chilling, while in Warsaw, the nationalists and leftists clash in their respective marches. The people here are known to be stingy, or as they say...
Bro, it's insane how every city that is showing is so beautiful, especially the main square. Look at this. This is just so incredible. Oh, I can't wait to travel to Poland.
They're responsible with money. Question: how do you make a cup of tea Poznania style? Fill it to the brim so there's no space for sugar. They also really like potatoes, so much that the capital city Poznania is sometimes called Pera City, which means potato for those who don't know. The city is economically powerful, well organized, and filled with hardworking, business-minded people who just get things done. Poznania is also very progressive and left-wing, and the place is filled with anarchists and femboys. They have a ton of regional slang and throw in words during the conversation that you won't understand. For example, they say "tay" a lot, which means something like yo, hey, or I don't know what it really means. There's always some sort of construction going on in Poznania, and it's not as touristy as, say, Krakow or Wrocław. But I gotta say, Poznan's image is mostly damaged by its own residents. There's no other city in Poland that gets so much internal hate. I love it though.
West Pomerania.
The West Pomeranian voivodeship has had an on and off relationship with Poland. They've switched teams a lot along the way, but it's been Polish after World War II. The Red Army devastated some of its cities, and because there was uncertainty over whether it would remain part of Poland, little was invested in this region, so it ended up somewhat underdeveloped. You can go there to see beautiful high cliffs and relax along the Baltic coastline. You'll probably spot more German retirees than locals. They're everywhere, going to dance events and enjoying life. The capital city Szczecin doesn't really exist. It's always waiting at the end of the line for funding, and there's always some kind of construction going on. The people though are super friendly and love eating Szczecin paprikash. A lot of locals work in Germany and have a mentality that's somewhere between a big city and a small town. Overall, a nice place.
That was very interesting. I mean, I don't know, all the comments that the creator of the video made, especially about the language, the political parties that people support from the different regions, sounded very authentic, like he knew what he was talking about. So I hope that this was actually accurate. But at the end of the day, these are all stereotypes, of course, so it shouldn't be taken too serious. Stereotypes just tend to stay froze throughout the years. So maybe something that was true 50 years ago, but nowadays it's not anymore. I mean, every generation changes a little bit the stereotypical image of the place. Wow, that was difficult to pronounce. Whatever. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section your thoughts and what other videos should I check out to learn more about Poland. See you.